underground model.
Hello guys, we're starting today working on assembly the model, the two halves of the engine being put together. Very nice fit, excellent ICM job. Just let the glue work to infiltrate between the two halves of the engine. Then attaching the other details. I think it's the oil filter there. Carefully removing the parts from the sprue and then attaching the details to the engine block. Again using plenty of glue to minimize the gap in molten plastic. Now I'm painting the exhaust manifold with a mix of brown and gold acrylic. I'm using a synthetic hair brush. Now I'm using the acrylic from the same range, the Homefront range, and this is matte black. Painting here the transmission belt. The lower side of the hull and the floors, they're going to be glue on top. I used to prime enamel paints, so the glue penetrates through the enamel because they are both solvent based, and I'm using the thick formula glue because it's slower acting, so give me the necessary time to make the adjustments. Make sure the ends are very well fit together. Now I'm installing the driver and co-driver seats. Very good fit all over the place on this ICM kit. Painting interior details. It is the engine fan, which is composed, it has 8 blades, it's a dual fan. Now adding the ammunition rack. Now I'm painting with acrylic the added details. In retrospective, I think I had better paint the chairs before installation. Now I'm gluing the bullheads and the inside wall, the separation wall between the engine room and the co-driver's room. Now I'm picking out details. That's more like aircraft modeling style, those molded details into the wall. Well, not much of that is going to be seen. Perhaps nothing of that is going to be seen, but I like to practice. Now I'm adding the spare ammunition drums for the machine guns. Okay, a spare machine gun. I think this one was used by the main driver when the vehicle was operating rear first. Here all the parts were primed from inside, and I'm applying oil wash to make details show better. It's not necessary, again, it's just a practice, but I like to do well the interiors. I don't like to let bare plastic behind. That's the engine cover. Now I'm adding the same oil wash over the inside of the vehicle, which was painted with enamel off-white, again to make those details pop out, and you can see the difference. White on white, you can't see almost at all details, and after applying the wash, they're just coming to life. Same treatment for the engine room. Again, some nice detail there, although not visible. We have some pictures here during the assembly, so you can see how sophisticated this build is. Very nice ICM, I liked it. It looks impressive, all plastic. It looks impressive, I have to say it. Now I'm putting together the main body of the vehicle. So this is the left side. There are many attachment points and guides, so it's very unlikely to go wrong. Now those parts, they were a little bit warped, but not that much. I needed to tape them to stay in place. The transversal bulkhead that separates the fighting compartment to the engine compartment was broke at the top. I haven't seen it when I did the inbox review. I discovered it later, so that gave me a little bit of a problem, but not as much. So making sure everything is properly glued on place. Running Tamiya extra thin along the seams. I'm sealing the body with tape so it won't move further. I'm using extra thin because I need a quite fast bond. So very good fit. I'm correcting the position of the walls because they had a tendency to spring outwards. The bulkhead I was telling you, see, is coming out of place, and I need to re-glue it, but that is fine. So no big hassle, easy access. And now basically I'm sealing completely the build, and while the glue still not completely set, I'm attaching the rear end. And again, the parts are secured in place with Tamiya tape, just to make sure they stay in the correct position until the glue sets. And again, running Tamiya extra thin all along the seams to have a very solid all over bond. Now I'm testing the right aperture. So yes, it seems to be correct. I wasn't decided at the time if those grills will stay open or closed, but I had to test if the engine deck has the correct aperture to depict them closed. Now I paint that front plate on the sprue and the turret as well, so I'm not worried about the marks that will be on the side of the parts, obviously, because they're going to be painted from outside with green. So I prefer to paint them from inside with interior white. Now I'm eliminating the boards remained from detaching from the gates. And here I am applying the front plate on its place. That was the most complicated part of the build, if you want, because that front plate had a noticeable warp. You can see it at the middle of it, so it had to be properly set. I used a lot of glue, slow setting glue, to give it time to adjust. Now here I'm attaching the top of the fighting compartment, which basically completes the shell of the vehicle, the armor shell of the vehicle. Try to do this in one single session, because any alignment problem are more easy to fix now when the glue is not completely set. Otherwise you're going to have breakage probably, especially on those very thin parts like the pillars. So with the shell completely in place, I'm putting here the axles. Again, very good fit. I test fit them first, and then I'm glue them in place, applying some pressure. Now those suspension arms, I think they are the transmission axles. I just drop them into the place and then glue them with the main axle. Very nice assembly from ICM. And again, I'm flooding the seams with liquid glue. Now I'm proceeding to mask the interior for the final painting. So I just have a piece of household sponge, which I'm cutting and inserting in the fighting compartment. I use masking tape to mask the turret from interior, because the interior is painted white. My initial plan was to let the turret doors open, or at least the driver hatch, but the turret, as the front plate, they were pretty badly warped, so I've been forced into gluing the doors in place so I get the turret walls in the correct angle. Okay, so guys, we are ready for painting now for the next episode. Please stay tuned, please subscribe. You're not going to miss the following update on this build, which is going to be the last one. Thank you very much for your attention, and I'm going to see you next time.